You're listening to the Known Legacy Podcast, brought to you by Known Legacy Ministries. For more information, go to knownlegacy.org. Now here's your hosts, Bill and Travis.
Oh, there's Bill.
There I am.
Hey, Bill.
I lost myself.
Man, we are excited. This is going to be part 2 with an amazing guest named
Part
John.
two.
Part 2. And excited about that. As always, this is Known Legacy. Thank you guys for checking us out. It is so good to have you here. You can find us on the YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can go to info@knownlegacy.org if you have questions, comments, concerns, or prayer requests.
Yes.
Also, you can find out information at knownlegacy.org.
I feel like my 80s kicking in.
I know. You're locked in, man.
I am locked in.
And book stuff, study stuff. I know that there's an amazing Facebook Bible study group that.
Yes, we have our adrenaline shot.
Yes,
you have to make up a new word now. You didn't do it, but our adrenaline shot every Thursday morning at 6:45. We'd love to have you guys on. There's a link below. It is a men's group, man. We have a great time on there, and so we'd love to have you join it. Check it out. We have our More Than You book and book study that we'd love to have you connect with, as well as. We have a 7-day of wake-up guide and 7-day reset just for you. Click the link below if you want to be a part of making life change in yourself. It's a great assessment.
Because, gentlemen, it is time we wake up, gear up, and come alive. Amen?
Woo! Hallelujah.
All right, so question of the day.
Question of the day.
I feel like we've done this question kind of a few different ways, but this is the way we're going to tackle it today.
Tackle
All right?
the
This is
question.
a shock to everyone, so we're going to get this very raw. What is your go-to summer movie? Like the movie that, like this is the movie that you watch and you're like, summer. It's summer.
Ooh, I got to think
Give you
about
guys
that
a chance
one.
to think on that one a little
Do you
bit.
have one?
I do. This is a deep dive. I believe it's John Hughes. It's a John Cusack movie, and it's One Crazy Summer.
Oh, that's a great movie.
And it's just a phenomenal frolic of
the Godzilla scene.
Yes, all of it.
I've never seen it.
Bobcat Goldthwait's in it, and there's like
Goldthwait?
Goldthwait.
What?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
The what? Yes.
Not Gold Twig. Bobcat.
Sorry, Bob, if you're listening, I apologize.
I'm listening.
But I'd love to have you on the podcast. So
That'd be
info@knownlegacy.org. No, I mean, it is like summer on the small island, and it's all this absolute 80s tomfoolery, and it's a mix of like live action and these silly comedy cartoons. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I don't know why, but the movie title is you're gonna like laugh when I explain the movie, and I cannot think of the title. But it's got Bill Murray in it.
Oh, okay, keep going.
Golf movie.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. I don't know why I thought of it, but I was like, Caddyshack. I love it. It's
In
just
other
like,
news, we're looking for a new podcast
oh my goodness,
host.
I'm so
How do you
embarrassed.
not know the name
I'm
Caddyshack?
so embarrassed.
Such a great movie.
Such a great movie.
And again, it's the blending of a puppet and live action. Dangerfield, all of it was great.
It's a Cinderella story. It's a no! It's a no! I says to him, a little bit something for your favor here. He's like, I don't have any money, but I'll give you complete consciousness.
Love it.
So I got that going for me.
Kyle, how about you?
So, still no camera.
Still no camera. That's okay.
We couldn't
I
fix
was
it over
gonna
a whole
say
week.
Caddyshack. Of all movies,
I got you.
I'll go with Stripes.
Oh! Okay, good movie. Good
So
movie.
go Stripes.
Yeah.
We are definitely aging ourselves.
Yes, we are.
None of the big box office summer movies, nothing like that.
Army training, sir. Oh, it's so good. Classics.
So many great one-liners.
all these young millennials.
Yes.
They're like, what are you guys talking
Yeah.
about? We're like,
Yeah.
just look up every Bill Murray movie.
This is like our parents talking about the black and white movies they grew up with,
Yes,
by the way.
yes. Back in
It's-
the day, Bridge over River Kwai.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Awesome. Well, hey, we are on part 2 this week with Dr. John Trent. We'd love to grateful to have you on again, my friends.
Hey, thank you.
We are so excited to have you on. You know, we had a great conversation, and we were going to talk about the book in the last one. I was like, you know what? Let's not, because we had such a good line. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to the last one, we'll put the link right here for the week before's podcast. But, John, we know that you've written a bunch of books, and we'd love you to share. So what are some of the – so I know you've written Broken the Blessed. What was the other book that you've written?
Well, I mean, before that, you guys are totally wrong in the whole movie thing.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I totally – sorry, go for it.
The best summer movie is Independence Day with Will Smith. You know,
Wow,
there's aliens. There's things blow up. You know, and Bill Pullman, who's like plays the president. He was the same guy in While You Were Sleeping. You know, if you remember that and stuff. But anyway, he's the president. And remember, at the very end of the movie, he goes, "This is our Independence Day," and they shoot down all the aliens.
so good.
Yes.
I mean, how can you miss that? I mean, that's like Die Hard, So
I have failed
But
you. No,
anyway.
because Die Hard's a Christmas movie, okay? So I don't care what anyone says.
I know. For Christmas, you have to say Die Hard, but for the summer, you have to say Independence Day. But anyway,
That's a good one.
but-
I should have been
watching
in a
it.
barbecue.
Yes.
Oh,
so
that's
good.
so good. You're right. Another good one, man. I'm so glad that you've called me out in my
corrected
sin.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Corrected you. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
share a little about your
Wait,
books.
what was the question? You guys
Yeah,
actually
remember,
had a
we
question.
were having too much fun here. I was saying, you've written a few books. I know that you've written Broken to Bless. We talked a little bit about that. I'd like to talk more about that book. But you also mentioned you've written some other books. What are those books?
Well, I mean, I've had a couple of people say, I've written more books than I've read, which is not true, by the way. Okay, but no, I started off, and I came to know Christ through, Young Life. This wonderful guy that led me to Christ. As we talked about in the last episode, is the difference we can make just in not only our own kids but other kids' lives. Well, so I go on to school. And I kept working at Young Life. And here was the problem. I kept seeing these awesome kids come to know Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you mentioned this summer you were at camp. You see these awesome kids turn their life over. Well, guess where they're going?
Where are they
Back
going?
home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so for a lot of us that didn't grow up with, It's a Wonderful Life and, going back to a great home, a lot of them are going back to homes that aren't going to reinforce that kind of faith, So what would happen was, so I decided, well, okay, I need to get I need to understand the Bible. So I went to Dallas Seminary. I was a Greek major because I got some bad advice and majored in Greek. But that was a great
That's the
experience.
worst advice.
Yeah, 4 years of back then. If you majored in Greek, you automatically had to minor in Hebrew. So that which I didn't know. I was a new Christian when I went to Dallas Seminary.
Wow.
And but anyway, then after seminary, I got my doctorate in marriage and family counseling because I figured, okay, I need to know God's word, but I need to know how to walk well with people. And so the first book I did was I'd been working in a psychiatric hospital. I know there's, been some question. I was working there.
You were not a resident.
This is Shutter
Right,
Island.
Yeah. So, but they did help me a lot while I was there. But the point is that I just I read Genesis 27, and there were these two twins. I'm a twin, so I like that story. And one of them gets the blessing, one of them misses it. And so the first book I did was the blessing, and then every other book I've done since then kind of tags onto that. In other words, like I did a book. I came up with a thing. So people would say, like, there's 5 things that are a part of the blessing. Can I go over them real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Okay. So there's appropriate, meaningful touch. Now, not just give them a hug, put your hand on their shoulder, but how do you look at them? Because that's how you first touch somebody, whether you realize it or not, is how do you look at them? We mentioned that the last time, remember?
Brilliant.
Yeah. So you touch it, but then there's spoken words. Now you can write it down, you can text it, but boy, people need to hear from somebody that they're loved, that they're valuable. That's the third one, attaching high value. Did you grow up in a home where somebody really felt like, now maybe you were different, you weren't as good an athlete as the older one, but you were really good at something. Did you hear that you had high value? Man, we need to hear that. And then what that begins to do with our touch, with our words that attach, that helps you understand you really, maybe I do have a special future out there, because that's what God says about it. But we need to hear it from loved ones too. We do have a future. And then the last one is genuine commitment. I'm not going anywhere, so it answers all the questions. There's something called attachment theory, and there's 3 questions. Number 1 is, am I enough?
Yes.
Okay. Now think about what Jesus does. He says, you are enough. Okay. And then the second attachment question is just, well, do I have a future? And that gets answered in the blessing. And the last one is, are you going to bail out when times get tough? So
wow.
when we bless people, so the first book I did was, well, how do you tell people that they're valuable? And I did a thing with lions, otters, golden retrievers, and beavers.
Yes.
And a personality thing that a lot of people have used over the years. And so that's what I've done, is just continue to write books on, okay, you want to bless them. I get that. Well, how do you do it? Well, you got to tell them. Well, how do you tell them? Well, understand who they are, and then you can help tell them what their strengths are. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
that's a long answer, but any book that I've done kind of spins off of how do you build stronger attachment.
So wait a second. My mind is blown right now.
You just blew Travis's mind.
So you're the guy that came up with the lion, the otter, and that entire thing, because everyone in my, like, I was in college and I think that book hit because everyone started calling me the otter. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And like, you're such an otter. You just play all the time. And I do float on my back, and I do break shells on my chest.
Yeah. Well, actually, when I first started teaching it, so I'm in my doctoral program, and we had to create our own. I was in a class on parametric testing, which means you take a bunch of tests, but then we had to create our own. So I created a test, and it was lions, otters, golden retrievers, and ducks. No, I'm sorry, lion, otter, duck, and beaver. So it was those four animals, right? Okay.
The duck didn't make the cut, did they?
Well, what happened was I started working with Gary Smalley,
Yes.
my great friend who's with the Lord now. But Gary pulls me aside one day and he goes, "John, we got to lose the duck." I mean, nobody wanted to be a duck, but he had a golden retriever. So Gary goes, "We're switching the duck to a golden retriever." So it's lion, otter, golden retriever, and beaver. And
Wow.
so I do have people come up to me occasionally and go, "I'm a duck," but
That's
most
the OG.
people. Yeah. So yeah,
That's amazing.
And what a blessing that's been. And again, gentlemen, I know that, John, you have gone on and expanded your knowledge, and you keep talking about how your brother is a smart one. I have a feeling you're pretty smart yourself. I'm just saying for the record. So, but the blessing of a guy who was in high school, was lost, had a broken family, God redeemed it, and the impact that has made globally has been amazing.
Yeah.
And so first and foremost, John, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a guy who stepped into the awkward and the chaos and followed God and has impacted in some amazing ways. And
awesome.
Gentlemen, if you're listening,
Wait,
this
that
isn't
was-
just his
that was-
story.
That was right what I sent you. That is awesome. You just nailed that. Yeah, he read that. I sent that to him.
Well,
Did I do okay?
Did
on
I do
reading it?
okay?
Yeah, that was good.
to he. The word is the, not to he.
Yeah, I sent it to Kyle and said, make sure he reads this.
Make sure he reads it.
this.
John, I love having you as a
I
guest.
know. That's what I'm saying. That's why we wanted you on again. It was just
Love-
so much fun. We had so much. I was like, I got to get this guy on again. But so share some of your book with us, because, man, we want these guys to come alive. Guys, if you are out there, share this with a friend. The biggest reason we do this is because you're not alone. You're not alone in this journey. You got amazing men like John that are willing to come on and just share their heart. And I hope you go and purchase these books. But John, share from one of your books, whether it's Broken or Blessed or that one. We'd love to hear more of the detail of it, so that we can promote some of what you're doing, brother.
Well, okay, but well, let's make it practical too, because it's like why read and all that stuff. And at the end, we gotta do these 5 questions because that you have, because one of them is what book are you reading?
I know.
But, all right, but here's the shameless plug. Okay, so it's this book called Your Journey from Broken to Blessed. Okay, and the reason. So number one is I wrote it with our oldest daughter, Carrie. So because we went two different paths, So what I'm getting at is I didn't grow up with the blessing, right? But what if you grew up with the blessing? I mean, you grew up in a Christian home, people got it, they knew about attachment, they tried to love you, but then you just you're not buying it. You're not buying God, there and is really there. I mean, they think that he is, but you're not buying it. And then you wander off and get in this abusive relationship. And I'm telling you, man, abuse erases the blessing. if you grew up with it, then, and so what it is so I came to know Christ through brokenness by absence. Carrie grew up with brokenness. Not that she didn't get it, but then she just wandered off. And there's a lot of kids that grow up and wander. They just don't buy it then.
Yes.
And then lives start to fall apart, And so really so the two of us are writing about the fact that, man, so that's Carrie's story. We've said this, but we got to get Carrie on.
We'll get her on.
I promise we will. But because it's so important. But I think that's really, in the nutshell, is why this book. I've written all these things on, well, how do you do it? But what if I never got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what if I never got it. And man, once you are free to really bless others, then that really helps, because otherwise you're given something you've never given. It's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I love is, like we use the language, you're blessed, but so many people, like I had a 2-hour conversation with a guy who lived the hardest life you could possibly imagine in California, from drugs to dealing and everything else, but heavily involved in Mexican gangs and everything else. And now he's trying to live this blessed life, and he just doesn't know what to do. And I think what your book continues to do is, like, let's define it and then put some practical, like, oh, I can identify it. And things that I've received, I can own it. And things that I'm working towards, I understand better. And so many guys are like, I know Jesus forgives me, but I don't know what to do next. I don't know how this whole thing works. And that's where your book is so huge and so important.
Absolutely. So what are some practical things that we could get with these guys who are listening and saying, hey, I maybe want to pick up this book. I'm not a big reader, but man, what could it possibly do for me as I read this book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and again, I listen to a lot of books too. I mean, the book, when we get to the 5 questions and what's a book you're reading, it's really a book I'm listening to, so they can go to Audible and listen to it. And we waste so much time in the car, right? Flip on a book that speaks to you. And what you're going to hear, just that whole thing about moving from broken to blessed, in a real practical nutshell, is number one, don't be afraid to look back. I think for a lot of us, we go, oh, the past, that doesn't affect me.
Right.
We don't see it affecting us, but our family does every day. So I grew up, and here's what I'm getting at. I had a big anger issue growing up. Okay. Now my twin brother, everybody struggled. My older brother would, eat his feelings. Of course, he ended up really big, which helps when you're an offensive lineman. Didn't when you quit playing. He ate a lot of his feelings. Jeff just tried to internalize things. Even in high school, he had ulcer things, and just because he was, wasn't talking about it. But I just like to hit people because, that's the thing about sports. I wrestled in college. I played football in high school because it was legal. You could hit people. It was combat. But the problem with anger is what? It just ruins relationships, right?
Absolutely. You just end up alone.
And it really is isolating. It breaks relationships and all the anger. So then I come to know Christ, and I didn't have any other problems with anger,
Yeah, of course.
None whatsoever.
Perfect healing immediately.
And so can I give you one example?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I get all convicted. We've got these 2 precious young kids at the time. One's like, I think one was 6. Wait, or 7. So that would make Laura 4. So I have a 7 and a 4-year-old, So I'm talking to Cindy one day, and I'd come back from something, and I said, sweetie, hey, do me a favor. What's something I could work on? Because, I want to be this godly guy, right? I don't want to just tell other people. I want to, she go, don't ask that to your wife, okay? Number one is don't ask it, because she's going to come up with something in milliseconds, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking, I'll think about it and I'll get back with you, instantly. she goes, okay, you got to quit pointing your finger in anger at the girls when you get ticked at them.
Oh,
Wow.
And I go, what are you talking about? And she goes, when you get ticked, like DEFCON 3, you've warned them. And now, hey, if you go, if you get out of bed again, that monster will, I wasn't doing that. But I mean,
right.
So I'm pointing at my finger, and I said, "That's ridiculous. I don't do that. I will prove to you that I don't do that." I go, and so I get both. Come on in here. I get both kids in, and I go, "Okay, Carrie, Laura, when Dad occasionally, rarely, like almost never, points his finger at you, and both of them nod their little heads, right?
Right.
I go, well, anytime from here on out, and I reach in I don't have my wallet with me, but I pull out my wallet and I pull out a $1 bill and go, anytime I point my finger at you in anger from here on out, you get $1. Okay, on the spot.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going
It's
to
going to cost you something.
Yeah, and now 4 little eyes get real big. They begin provoking me to anger. It wasn't my fault, And so I mean, they're on their way to Harvard, because I'm after about $10, I realized I got to shape up.
I got to
see what I'm
this.
getting at.
Yeah.
So I think as we move from broken to blessed, we need to figure out, okay, now you don't have to do that with your kids. Some of you would go broke. I get it, but man, that was one of the most powerful things. I can remember Carrie in high school just would say, hey, point your finger at me. I need money, kind of a thing. And so it's just something small, but it's ways to say, okay, Lord, what am I doing that doesn't reflect you? And then how's a way I can really begin to deal with it?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I love that call to action.
2 things before we get to the Fast Five. First thing is this, gentlemen, if you, I think that blessing book is very prescient for the time that we are in. And so if you find yourself and you can't afford that book or that Audible book, info@knownlegacy.org.
We'll pay for it for you.
Please, we will absolutely sponsor you, and we will get you that information so you have a chance to dive into it and receive the blessings from that book. Number 2 is this. What's your one takeaway from this conversation today? What's your one call to action?
Yeah. John, what would you say is the call to action today for those guys that are listening?
Oh, well, I mean, a great way to do it is just to say, okay, Lord, I want to love you. Now, let me do a checkup on how I'm doing. So just sit down with your wife and go, okay, now I know there may be 15 things. I just need one, and don't pick the biggest one, but what's something I can do? Actions dictate feelings, not the reverse. And so for a lot of us, don't wait. Well, when I feel like it, I'll change. No. Okay. What are some things maybe I could work on? And boy, when Cindy told me, just how small that was. Yes. That's really pretty small, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't doing it all the time, but I mean, I do it when I realized, I want to bless them. I don't want to dishonor them. And so, okay, I can deal with that. So that would be the takeaway is just man up and say, okay, what's something I could work on? And then get a friend. You guys mentioned this. Get a friend. So Jim McGuire, I'm going to have breakfast with him later on. He's my board chairman. We've been friends for 100 years. And but when I did that finger pointing thing, guess who I talked to? Was Jim McGuire. And I said, okay, Jim, I'm doing this with the kids to help them. So help me. I need to work on this anger thing. So you don't have to do it alone. So those are 2 takeaways, but those are the 2, I think.
I love it. You're talking about the wake up stuff that we're always encouraging guys. Like wake up to those hidden things that God is redeeming and transforming you from. So
which I think is a great thing. I mean, it also ties in with our wake up guide and 7-day reset. It's going to be below. It's a free resource for you, as much as John's book is going to be a great resource. But make sure you check those 2 out below in the session notes. John, this has been awesome.
Thank you, John.
And sorry that we shotgun this, but I'd love to jump into our Fast 5.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, John, what is the current book that you're reading right now?
Okay. All right. And remember, I
listening to.
I remember it's okay to listen to something.
Yes.
That still counts. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm listening to a book. Have you ever heard of a book called Living Life Backwards?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I envy you the chance to listen to the first time and you got to listen to it because the guy's from Ireland
Oh,
and
yes.
oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
oh, it gives you 20 extra IQ points just because you have a British or a, in this case, an Irish accent,
That's awesome.
But basically it's a book on Ecclesiastes, and which is so hard to understand. I mean,
Yes.
come on, that's really a tough book. It's like Job. Try to get
Yes.
something out of
Yes.
Job, right? Okay. Well, it's the best book I've ever read on Ecclesiastes, because it says, man, once you understand what death is, you have the key to life. Now, this is, again, life in Christ. It's phenomenal in terms of so that's the book, Living Life Backwards. It's like, okay, what I don't want to spoil it for you, but man, it is one of the best spiritual formation books. How do you really live life well? Man, deal with the ultimate issues, and it's really phenomenal.
Living life backwards.
Yeah.
We'll go with that, Bill.
We'll go with it. Perfect. Awesome. Number 2, what's something you're excited about in life right now?
Well, again, for the first time, we've got all of our kids and grandkids in the same state with us.
What a blessing.
And so last night we were at a 6-year-old birthday party, but everybody was there instead of FaceTiming.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's really awesome. Yeah.
It's kind of a funny thing. Like, no one has ever said what excites me is getting on Facebook in the morning. It's always about kids or family.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. All right, number 3. If you could pick one decade to go back to, what would it be?
Yeah, I've never been good at going back. It's that old Satchel things. Don't look back because it could be gaining on you.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the best one. I've always been.
Awesome.
This is the best decade, and so plus for me it could be the last. You never know. I'm getting so old.
I hope not. I know exactly. I hope not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I hope not too. We would love to have you on again and again and again.
Yes.
So, man, I love it. Okay, what's your favorite fast food right now?
It's easy to say. Okay. Now, if I'm with Cindy, it's this thing called Sweet Greens, because it's like really healthy. Okay.
Yeah,
But if Cindy's out of town or something, I'm going to Cane's.
Yeah. Oh,
their sauce is so good.
I get the four like the box combo,
yeah.
and I get an extra sauce because they're incredible.
Yeah.
So that's
Ditch
amazing.
the
coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
I like the coleslaw.
I do too. I get the coleslaw and the chicken strips.
Yeah, that's my man right there. He knows what's up. So awesome. Number 5. If you could give one piece of advice to yourself when you were younger, what would it be?
Well, again, the best advice, I don't know if it was advice, but the best decision I made, and that I would give myself to make the same decision, was I would look at this guy that led me to Christ, Doug Barham, who loved Jesus, and he now I was used to treating people very poorly, okay?
Right.
And was full of anger and all this stuff. Well, he would walk up to these kids who were total losers and treat them like they were really valuable. And I remember when I came to know Christ, I thought, you know what? I want to treat people. I'm going to try to serve people and love people like this guy.
Yes.
It was the best decision, because really what it was, he was just loving him like Jesus loved him. And so I just picked somebody that gave me a picture of that and realized that's where it's coming from. So that'd be it, man. Pick somebody that's doing a great job of doing it, and you're not gonna. I'm never gonna be as good as Doug Barham, but I've become more like Christ because I saw somebody doing it, and at least it gave me a picture of what I could do.
Awesome.
Man, well, I would say, Doug, I think Doug has some good competition in you, if I'll be honest with you. And, man, this has been life-giving. John, we'll have you on again, hopefully with your daughter.
Doug Barham's 86. We had Doug and I ought to get on with you. That would be really cool.
I mean, we'd love to. That'd be amazing. Your guy, oh my gosh, that would be like life. That's literally what we talk about. So
he's still the same guy. Yeah, that would be really fun.
Oh, let's do
All
it.
right,
Let's do it.
Let you guys go, but Lord bless you, and man, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much.
Every time it's divine appointment.
So good, so good. I love it. And man, I mean, John, thank you so much for your time, brother. I know you might have to jump right off, but man, we are so grateful, guys. Make sure that you pick up John's book. We'll put the link in the bio. Check out that Wake Up Guide and 7-Day Reset. Join our men's study, and please share this with some of your friends because we know that you're not alone in this. We're not alone in this. We're still trying to figure this out too,
right?
In
Amen.
our journey.
Amen.
And so, Travis, final thoughts.
Time is short. It's time to wake up, gear up, and come alive.
Guys, have yourself a great week. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Known Legacy Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, so email us your questions or comments to info@knownlegacy.org.